Okay, we're back at the Fix-It show. These are the Elsinore fork legs that we polished. We're working on restoring this 75 Elsinore 125. So previously I popped the old seals out of the top here. You got to do that. I actually have a tool in my shop. It gets in there and pries these out. So the old ones were definitely shot. Then you got to take your fork tubes, inspect them for chips and pits, and wash them out real good. Wash off in some solvent. Wash off your springs and wash off your dampening rods and inspect them. And actually one of these forks was missing a top out spring, so we had to replace one of those. That's a weird deal. But you buy bike shoes, you never know what you're in for. So the next step, we're going to put the new seals in. That's what we want to show you. So what I like to do is actually fill the back of the seal with some good grease. Fill that whole void in there, and it's just guaranteed protection, lubrication. Put a little bit around the fork leg so it'll seal up nice, and also so it'll slip in. Make sure that the whole side's down, and then what I like to do is take the old fork seal and get it started out off evenly and work it down so you're not tearing up your new seal. If you want, you can take a wood block and knock it down. Make sure you're past the groove for the wire. This has a wire groove in the fork, and the wire, the snap ring, holds the fork seal in place. So we're going to insert that in a second. I just want to double check that this thing is all the way down where it should be. Okay, so that's down. I can see the groove. And you snap your wire in. And there it is. Now we're going to install the dampener rod. This collar slips down inside and sits at the bottom of the fork, because this ends up riding inside it. Then you drop your dampener rod and the top out spring up from the top of the fork, get it all the way down, and there it is. That's your travel of your fork right there. Then the upper tube is going to go to the lower tube. I've got it all greased up so you're not tearing up your new seal. And you're going to hear when that dampening rod hits the bottom. And you usually put a nice new brass washer on that, because that seals your oil from leaking out the bottom. And when you disassembled it, you undid that nut at the bottom, the bolt. Then you got to find your Allen wrenches and tighten that up. Okay, so we got the bolt in there started, and it's got the new brass or copper washer on it. So then you got to tighten up and sometimes the dampener rod spins with it. So you try closed, you try open. And another method is stick a broomstick down there and try and hold the dampener rod from spinning. Typical things that happen. Let me grab a broomstick. So we found a broomstick with actually a PVC handle, and it worked. Held that from... So that's with the ratchet. I like to double check it with a 3/8 driver just by hand, because I don't know, I like the feel of just trying it with a 3/8 driver, and just peace of mind. Put the device real quick. Okay, that puppy is tight. Okay, The next step, we're going to add the oil. You also do not want to forget your dust boot at this point, because you put those in your triple clamps without that, your forks are not going to be right. So now we take some good, I like to use 20 weight in these vintage bikes because it slows the dampening down a little bit. We're going to go, the manual says 160 cc's per leg. If you need a ratio right, because I don't know any other way to do it. And ratio right are these cups that have the two-stroke mixture on them, and cc's, fluid ounces, and pints. So we're going to go to 160, some good 20 weight. Light's not great in here today. There we go. And you're going to pour that in the top without the spraying. Whoa. That's not good. Pump that down. It's going down. So once you've added the oil, pump it a few times and you'll feel the air bubbles until your dampening gets nice and consistent, and then you know you pumped all the air out of the what's the name of the frickin' the dampening rod.
Yeah, okay, let's pick it up from there.
Okay, so you pump it a few times, make sure you got all the air bubbles out of the dampening rod. When you got consistent dampening, you know you're in the right spot. Then you're going to add your spring. Make sure it was all washed down and clean. Add your spring. Let that fall in. And then you're about ready for your cap. The 75 Elsinore has kind of a weird fork with this cap. Most forks have a threaded cap. This has a cap, but you have to put it in with a lock ring. A little bit strange. So I'm going to drop this down so I can get some weight on it. And then get the ring started with some snap ring pliers, which I don't have right here. I'll go grab. So this is the cap for the top of the fork. I like to put a little bit of grease around the O-ring, keep it fresh, and kind of seals up a little nicer that way. So you push that O-ring cap down, and get your circlip pliers, get them in the circlip, get them in the fork. Push down a little bit to make sure you're in the groove. And voila. And then this, then you can see your fork is feeling good. Then you got a little rubber dust cap that goes on top of that. And then you're ready to assemble your forks up in the triple clamp. Next time we're going to work on cleaning up the wheels, get them installed, and we're going to clean up the air box, get it installed. We have to find a coil and rebuild the motor. And we're going to have this done in 3 weeks, huh? Somebody wants to ride this bike. We'll see what we can do. And don't forget to subscribe and like us if you like it, if you're learning anything. And if you have any questions, send us a letter and a note. We'll see if we can help. Thanks for watching.